Hey, good morning, friends. Once again, this is Patrick Ochenny coming to you live with another presentation. In today's video, we're gonna talk about intermittent fasting. Okay, once again, intermittent fasting. All right. So, as a matter of fact, I got a question from someone who sent in a question. Okay, this is from Rachel. All right. The question is, can intermittent fasting negatively affect your workouts? Okay. Once again, can intermittent fasting negatively affect your workouts? All right. Now, before I answer these questions, friends, what I want to do first of all is give a shout out to Rachel and say thank you, Rachel, for sending in this question. Because guess what? If you're asking that question, there's a strong likelihood that somebody else has a similar question. All right. So there is no bad question. All right. Now, with that being said, I want to remind you guys. I want to remind you guys. If you too have a question about getting in shape, about losing weight, about fitness in general, you can always send me a direct message either via Facebook or YouTube, depending on where you're watching from. All right. Or if you feel like you need a more comprehensive plan or help, you can always visit my website at www.bodybypatrick.com. All right, to sign up for a free strategy session. Okay. Now, with that being said, can intermittent fasting negatively affect your workout? Before I answer that question, what I want to do is remind you guys that intermittent fasting, first of all, is a way of eating. Okay, it's an eating lifestyle. It is not a diet. In my opinion, it's the best way to eat out there. Okay, that is sustainable over time. It's very, very flexible. I could go on and on about all the benefits of intermittent fasting. With that being said, one of the main benefits is the fact that it is not a caloric restriction program. What does that mean? It means that you're not depriving yourself of calories. So the only way, one of the ways in which your workouts could be negatively affected is if you're not implementing intermittent fasting the right way. And there's a right way to do it, there's a wrong way to do it. You understand? If you do it incorrectly, yes, Rachel, it can negatively affect your workout. With that being said, what I want to do is give you guys a big picture view of how this whole thing works. All right. Now, when you want to do intermittent fasting, the first thing you got to understand is you got to determine, first of all, what is your prioritized goal? Okay. What is your prioritized goal? What exactly are you trying to achieve in the first place? Are you simply trying to lose weight? Are you simply trying to get in decent shape? All right. Are you training for a marathon? Okay. Are you trying to become a power lifter? What specifically is your prioritized goal? Because guess what? That will determine the next thing, which would be the kind of training / workout that you're going to be doing. Okay. So for example, somebody who's trained to become a power lifter would train differently than somebody who's trained to become a marathon runner versus somebody who's simply trying to lose a couple of pounds or stay in shape. And finally, you're supposed to train, you're supposed to eat to support your training. So the third element is, this is going to determine how you eat. In this case, what kind of protocol you use for intermittent fasting. All right. So going back to the original question is, can intermittent fasting negatively affect your workout? And the answer is yes, like I said, if you implement it incorrectly. So let's take a real life example. Let's say somebody right now, all right, they want to become a power lifter, okay? Let's just say a power lifter, okay? Well, guess what? I happen to know that power lifters, their primary goal is to get stronger and stronger and stronger. That is their primary goal, to lift as much weight as possible, okay? So what does that mean? When it comes to the training, it means what? They're going to be lifting heavy weight, okay? Heavy weight. Now, with that being said, if they're lifting heavy weights, they need as much muscle mass as possible. They need a lot of body weight in general. I mean, yes, there are people out there that weigh less and lift a lot of weight, but in general, the more you weigh in the powerlifting world, the more you're likely to lift. So what does that mean? That means you have to consume a lot of calories. A lot of calories to help you build mass, muscle mass, and to help you with your lifting sessions. All right, now, having determined that, what does that mean when it comes to intermittent fasting? That means that, first of all, you have to understand with intermittent fasting, what does that mean? That means that for a window of time, okay, for a window of time, for a period of time during the day, you are not eating. You are not eating. So what does that mean? That means that if you're trying to become a power lifter, you have to take that into account. All right, you have to make sure that because your goal is to become a power lifter, you are consuming enough calories. All right. So in this example, now this is just one example for a power lifter. Okay, if you are trying to lose weight, if you're trying to train for a marathon, it will be completely different. I'm just giving you guys this as an illustration of how you could implement intermittent fasting to support your goal. That way, it does not negatively affect what? Your workout. All right. So now, for this power lifter, what's going to happen? Well, for that window, let's say between the hours of 12 and 3, this person is not eating. Well, guess what? That means that when the more likely or should be consuming most of the calories, right, during the training. Okay? So they want to build up a caloric reserve. All right? So, and also, guess what? They want to make sure that the window in which they do not eat is not too big because, again, they need to consume a lot of calories. So in this example, if somebody who is trying to become a power lifter has too big a window, for example, let's say they go 24 hours without eating, well, that's going to negatively affect their workout because guess what? It's not going to support the training. All right? It's very hard to go lift really, really heavy weights on an empty stomach. You understand? I hope that makes sense. So that's just one example of if you don't implement intermittent fasting the right way, yes, it can negatively affect your workout. All right. So, and again, you have to also keep in mind, it depends on how adapted your body is when it comes to intermittent fasting. Are you a beginner or are you experienced? For example, me personally, I'm so used to not eating before my workouts. I typically work out very early in the morning between, typically in the past, it used to be like 5 a.m. And now it is around 10 a.m. I'm so used to doing that it does not really affect me if I have not eaten for at least 18 hours. So I'm more experienced in that sense. But for somebody who is a total beginner to intermittent fasting and they're not adapted to working out on an empty stomach, it's going to impact their workout, at least initially. All right. So what is the moral of the story, Rachel? The moral of the story is that first you got to determine what is your prioritized goal. All right. After that, if it's to lose a couple of pounds, all right, and if you're like most people, you don't train for hours and hours anyway. All right. So if it's to lose a couple of pounds or stay in shape or feel good or increase energy, like most people, including myself, well, guess what? That is really not going to really affect your training. Even if you did as what's called an extended fast, which is something that's over 18 hours long, more like 24 hours. All right. But again, it depends on your experience level. You understand? And then finally, the window of your eating will not, be that, would not be that long anyway, that would really negatively affect your workout session. Okay. So the moral of the story is it depends. Okay. Can intermittent fasting negatively affect workouts? It depends on whether or not you implement it correctly. Hopefully all that makes sense. Okay. So if you have any additional questions pertaining to intermittent fasting, pertaining to how to implement it and how to apply it to your unique situation, your unique goal, you can feel free to leave your questions below, or you can send me a direct message either via Facebook or YouTube, if that's where you're watching from, Or if you want a free strategy session, you can go to www.bodybypatrick.com to sign up for a free strategy session whereby we get on the phone and discuss your unique situation in detail. Does that make sense? Now, I have to let you know in the spirit of full transparency. When you go to the website, if the page is down, it means what? I am totally booked. So what does that mean? First come, first serve. You do not want to procrastinate too much, all right? If that's something you're interested in, all right? And then also, if you like this video, if you found it useful, helpful, go ahead and like the video for me. I will appreciate it. Secondly, if you have somebody that could benefit from this information I just heard today, feel free to share this video. They will appreciate it. I'll be grateful. Everybody be happy. And finally, if you want to be notified in the future, the next time that I go live, make sure you like my page if you haven't already done so. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way the next time I go live, you're notified. Or if you're watching from Instagram, click on that follow button. All right? So, thank you all for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Again, if you have any kind of questions, DM me. Go to bodybypatrick.com and I'll make sure to help you any way I can. All right? Once again, my name is Patrick O'Cheney, your trusted fitness expert and advisor. Thank you for watching. Until next time, have yourself a super duper great day. I'll talk to you soon.